I'm Jonathan Jablonski, and I represent My Argentine Passport. So we're a company that's specialized in obtaining Argentine citizenships, residencies, visas, and passports. So a little bit about the firm. We've been in business for 8 years. We have over 1,600 successful applications. That includes residencies, citizenships, visas, etc. And we have an office right here in downtown Argentina, as well as an office in Poland in Europe. And we're a small firm. We have 16 employees that work from here as well as Europe. So a little bit about me personally. I studied economics here in Argentina. I then studied economics and law in Poland. I have a ton of experience living in different countries around the world. So I've lived in Canada for 10 years. I've lived for over 2 years in Europe, and I've lived for over a decade in South American countries, including Brazil, including Paraguay, and I've been in Argentina for over a decade. I was born here and then I moved around a lot, so I can definitely understand how the procedures here work, as well as how to help foreigners from several different countries and backgrounds in obtaining whatever they desire here in my country. So I speak 5 languages. People in my firm also speak several languages, so we can help people from all around the world. I personally speak English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Polish. I also have 4 of the world's most powerful passports. I have a US passport, a Canadian passport, a European Union passport, which is the Polish passport, as well as my native Argentine passport. And I am very excited to share with you today on how you guys can obtain the Argentine passport, which is considered the second easiest passport to obtain in the world without the need for huge amounts of money invested in the country. There's a couple of different ways to get citizenship. One is, of course, if you're born here. Another one is by option, which means that one of your 2 parents had to have been an Argentine citizen, so you can then just choose to obtain Argentine citizenship. The most common one is naturalization. Naturalization encompasses almost every different way that you can just become a citizen of this country without being a native. Most naturalizations can take place after living in this country for 2 years, but we're going to touch a little bit more on that in future slides. And the last one is by marriage, which is by naturalization, but it's a special accelerated method of getting Argentine citizenship, as well as by having a child born on Argentine soil. So then we can move on to what are temporary residencies and visas. So we have the digital nomad visa, which is extremely popular right now. This is a visa for people that work remotely. We have the rentista visa, which is also extremely popular. This one is a visa for anybody that owns real estate in any country in the world outside of Argentina, or if they own financial assets that pay them a certain amount per month. Then we have the work visa for people who are looking to work at an Argentine company or a foreign company that does business on Argentine soil. We have the student visa for people that want to study here. Family reunification for people who have some close relative living here. We have retirement. We have for scientists, for artists, for athletes, for refugees, for diplomats, as well as for people that come here to seek medical treatment. Then we have what's called permanent residencies. The ones I named before allow you to get temporary residency. If you are somebody from Mercosur, which is basically from South America, after 2 years of living here, you're entitled to switch your temporary residency status to permanent. And if you're not from Mercosur, so basically US, Canada, Israel, Mexico, whatever, then you have to be here for 3 years before you can get permanent residency. Some other services that we also offer are company formation. So if you are looking to open a business in Argentina, be it a subsidiary of your existing business abroad or a completely new business, we can definitely help you do that with all of the legal structures. We can help you open bank accounts, which is something that's extremely difficult for foreigners. Don't have a local ID. We offer comprehensive legal consulting for anything related with immigrating to Argentina or just establishing yourself here. We also help with renting or acquiring real estate. We have access to pre-construction buildings, what's called en pozo, which means in the hole. It's when they start digging or pre-digging, which is stuff that's usually only offered to locals. And we're just a one-stop shop for anything you need in this country. What are the benefits of obtaining Argentine citizenship? Argentine citizenship right now is considered the 15th best citizenship in the world by the Henley Passport Index. It's a country that has a great passport program. We have access to a lot of countries visa-free, and on top of that, we have treaties with other countries in the region that allow you to set up shop there and do business without any hassle. So after only 2 years of living here, you're entitled to get an Argentine passport, and that is the shortest time of any country in the world. What are some of the rights you get? So you get to work and live in Argentina, just like any citizen. You have the right to free education. We're a country that has free education from preschool all the way to master's and postdoctoral programs. We have some of the best universities in the world. Most of our universities, well, not most of them, but La UBA, which is the national university, constantly ranks in the top 100 universities of the world, and it's absolutely completely free. We have access to retirement and receiving a pension without having ever contributed. As far as I'm aware, we're the only country in the world that has this. No other country in the world lets you retire and receive a pension without ever contributing $1 to Social Security. We also have free public health care. We have some of the best hospitals in the world, and you have access to world-class doctors for free. And even if you decide to go private and you get health insurance, it's super affordable. I can discuss that more if you guys are interested in knowing those costs and what that covers. Some of the other benefits, like I mentioned, are the treaties that we have with other Mercosur countries. So that includes Brazil, that includes Uruguay, that includes Paraguay. You can basically get an automatic residency there and just, live there and go about your life without doing any major paperwork. And it's a country that allows dual citizenship, so you don't have to renounce your current passport or citizenship in order to obtain the Argentine passport. And it's also in our constitution that you can never renounce this citizenship. The United States lets you renounce citizenship, Argentina does not. So that's great in case you then decide to get a third, fourth, or fifth passport that requires you to renounce some citizenships. You just get a letter stamped that says that you're not allowed to renounce it, and they take it as valid. So that's really good. I have clients that made good use of that. And finally, consular protection. It doesn't matter where you travel. Argentina has a ton of embassies in the world. We're a country that is well regarded. We're a country that's well respected and well liked. Everybody loves Messi. Everybody loves Maradona. Everybody knows that we won the World Cup. We are absolutely well received wherever we go. I've been to numerous countries. I've been to almost every continent on the world, and I travel with my Argentine passport despite having 3 other more passports to choose from, and I've always been extremely well received. What's more, I've been able to go to countries that none of my other passports let me enter, such as Belarus. I couldn't get into Belarus with the US passport or the Polish passport. I used the Argentine passport and I went in no problem. Let's go in depth over some of the options to get citizenship. This one's the easiest. It's kind of a cheat code. So if you have an Argentine parent, it's extremely easy to get citizenship. You just do some very minor paperwork and you file it in your local embassy. You don't even have to come to Argentina. So super simple, super straightforward. If any of you guys are Argentine descendants, just send me a message and I'll be happy to help you. It's pretty self-explanatory. Then we move on to citizenship by naturalization, which is, like I mentioned before, encompassing all the different residencies after living here for 2 years. Doesn't matter under what residency you applied, you're allowed to apply for citizenship. And that usually takes around 1 year, depending on what court gets your paperwork. And the requirements are very little. It's just having lived here for 2 years continuously. Continuously has different interpretations depending on which court. Most courts say it's 6 months. Some very, very strict courts say it's 9 months out of the year. I usually don't have any problems if people have lived here for at least 6 months per year for a total of 2 years to apply. And the documents required are super simple. It's just show that you don't have a criminal record, show that you've been living here in the country, and file your birth certificate. So the paperwork's easy. Navigating the court system, not so much. And that's where I come in to give everybody a hand. Then we have citizenship by marriage. This has become a very popular option recently. We have a lot of Russian immigrants and they've just been deciding to start families here. Argentina is very welcoming. If you have a child here, you're basically automatically allowed to apply for citizenship without having to have waited the 2 years of residency period prior. And if you get married to an Argentine citizen, you're also entitled to apply for citizenship without having waited for the 2 years of residency prior. And Argentina recognizes same-sex marriage. So, if you marry anyone, basically, that's an Argentine citizen, you're entitled to citizenship. and we can also help you facilitate finding a partner here if you're looking to expedite your citizenship application. Okay, now we move over to the residencies. Okay, so this is my personal favorite. I love the Rentista visa. This visa lets anybody that owns a property outside of Argentina apply for a residency permit. What you basically need at today's value, and this fluctuates, around $1,200 per month. That's tied to our minimum wage. So it's 5 monthly minimum wages in passive income. The standard is by property. I've managed to convince immigration officers to allow it if you have any portfolio that pays dividends or that pays you coupons from a bond, or basically any assets, any financial instruments that pay you on a monthly or a yearly basis, the equivalent of 5 monthly minimum salaries. And we can also help you set that up here in Argentina, which is a great country to do it because we pay a lot, basically, because we have instruments that are a bit more risky, such as Argentine sovereign bonds that are paying 54% per year. And we have some other instruments that allow you to invest a small amount of money to be able to cover this. So right now, I would have to do the math, but with around $27,000, you should be able to get this residency. And if you have a house anywhere in the world, all you need to do is a rental contract, and then you can deposit those funds in an Argentine bank to apply for this residency as well. So it's a great way to do it. Then we move on to the digital nomad visa, which is also getting super popular. Argentina is ranked, I think, in the top 5 best countries, and Buenos Aires is in the top 5 best cities in the world for digital nomads because it's absolutely dirt cheap. Just to go over some costs with you guys, today I had a cleaning lady come over. She was over for 6 hours. It was around $2.5 or $2.8 an hour. I took a cab to work today. That cab was $2. I had lunch today. Lunch was $7. Everything is really, really cheap, and digital nomads absolutely love that. It's a super easy visa to apply for. The one downside is that it does not give you a DNI. So a DNI is our local ID, and you need that in case you want to do, other things like open a bank account, buy property, etc. So it's good if you want to be here temporarily, but if you're planning to be here more long term, I suggest looking at one of the other options. Okay, so the work visa, that's designed for people that are planning to work for an Argentine company. The company has to be a legitimate company. It has to be inscribed in what's called RENURE. I have a lot of clients where we actually open a company for them under a different person who's a local citizen, and that local citizen, it's the client's company, but a local citizen heads the company, and then they hire the client, and that way the client can just live here. And this one's great because in 15 days you can have your ID, you can have your application processed. So that one's absolutely great, and you can then use the company for whatever you want because it's a legitimate company. If you don't want to do that, just get a normal job offer from an Argentine company. We can prepare all of the contracts, we can prepare all of the paperwork, and we can also get the company inscribed in the RENURE. So student visa, this one's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to study in Argentina, you should pick a program that's over 1 year long. If not, your visa will just, cover less than a year, and it's just tougher to get. But yeah, if you want to study anywhere, even if it's an informal program, you can get a visa for studying here. So this is the retiree one. Basically, if you just have stable income from a retirement pension, then you transfer that money into Argentina and you show that it's at least 5 times the minimum wage, and then you're good to go. There's no other requirement. So the refugee visa, this one's a bit tough because generally refugees are not able to get the paperwork they need to be able to actually apply for it, and it's hard to get refugee status here. It's not very easy, but if anyone actually needs this, then give me a call and we'll do our best to give you a hand. But it's best for you to come to this country with the necessary paperwork ready, such as birth certificates, criminal records check, etc. Transitioning to permanent residency, individuals who had temporary residency for at least 2 years, if they're from Mercosur, which is Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil, etc., they can do it in 2 years. If people are from outside of Mercosur, then it's 3 years. Right now for Brazilians, they're basically just giving them permanent residency on the spot. I don't know if anybody's from Brazil, but if you're Brazilian, you just get it right away. You don't need to go through the 2 years prior. Also, if you have family here, such as somebody asked about son, daughter, or parents, then they can also just become permanent residents right away. And there are some specific professions that have some programs that also allow you to become a permanent resident right away. If any of you guys, are athletes or artists or scientists that are renowned in your field, then also let us know, and I'm sure we can expedite your process to permanent residency. Just gonna go back for a sec. So most of these programs, most of our clients, everybody of course has their own objectives, but most of our clients want a second passport. So when you decide to call us, we can go over your goals and we can see, okay, like, you just want to live here, do you want to establish here, do you want a second passport, do you want to open a business, what are your goals, and then kind of what assets do you have, what is it that you want to do. And once we've decided what the best or what all the feasible options are, we go over every single one of them, and then between us and you, we decide what is the best option for you. And that will depend on your goals and what tools you have at your disposal for us to frame it in the correct way to apply for the residency. So what are some of the required documents? These are very generic, but of course we have to go over your particular situation and what program you're applying for. But you're always going to need a birth certificate. You're always going to need a current passport. You're always going to need a clean criminal record. If you have some minor things on your criminal record, definitely let us know. Be upfront about that, and we can see if there's some way for us to be able to apply regardless. Generally, minor crimes or misdemeanors are not a problem. Now, if you have murder, that's going to be a bit tougher for us to deal with. And then finally, it's proof of financial means. So it could be your employment contract, your lease agreement where you're leasing your property. It could be, your wages, W-2 or pay stub. If you're self-employed, just proof of taxes, some bank statements, etc. What does this all cost? So of course, it depends on the program and it depends on your case, how difficult it is, what are your timelines, if you're going to be living in Argentina permanently, if you're going to be going in and out. We have a lot of clients that come here for a little bit, go back out, come back, go back out. We can deal with those cases, but of course they're much harder and more time consuming. So a basic case that is either citizenship or a residency starts from $5,000 and a renewal starts at $2,500. So if we've already gotten you a residency and it expires after 1 year and we have to renew it, then that's $2,500. And all of these can be paid in installments, so it's not like you have to pay for the entire thing up front. We can do some monthly installments. We can work out an interest-free payment plan for you. How long does it take? It varies wildly by procedure. The work one, if I do it urgently, I can have it ready in 15 days. Other less urgent ones can take several months. And citizenship, usually if we get a decent court, is taking around a year, could be up to a year and a half. So yeah, that is it. I'm going to leave you with our contact details. If you enjoyed the presentation, you can send us a WhatsApp. WhatsApp is great. We answer those all the time right away. Our email is there. Our website is there. You can book a call with me. You can check out our socials. We have some videos of the city. I go over some aspects of law and some things we can do. And of course, I haven't covered absolutely everything in this presentation. There's a lot more stuff that I can help you guys with, be it real estate, be it navigating our legal system, be it, if you have some shaky paperwork, how to solidify it so that you are accepted for the program, and a myriad of other things that we can help you with. So anything you need, do not hesitate to get in contact. If you have a child that is a citizen, you can also apply, absolutely no problem. Well, you won't be taxed, Daniel, on transfers. Like, that money's already yours. You're not going to be taxed on it. So there's absolutely no problem with that. You can just transfer the money and use it. We have sales tax and stuff here, like VAT tax, but you're not actually going to get taxed on just bringing your money in. So you'll be fine with that. What will happen though is that you're going to pay you're going to get it at the official rate, and there's like a slightly higher black market rate that today is around 15% higher. But that's gonna finish within the next short time. Our president's gonna get rid of that, so I wouldn't worry too much about that anyway. Digital nomads are taxed. No, they are not. They're not taxed, so don't worry about it. And most digital nomads are getting paid in crypto and stuff anyway, but no, they're not taxed. It's tax-free. It just gives you the right to live here, and it doesn't give you an ID. So it depends on the court, but some courts, if you're looking to get a second passport, some courts will not take the time that you've been here as a digital nomad as counting it towards the 2 years necessary. But if you're just looking to be here for 6 months to a year, that's another thing. It can only be extended. It's granted for 6 months, and you can renew it once up to another 6 months. So if you're looking to stay more than that, I don't recommend it. If you're only looking to stay here for a year, then we can definitely help you, but you will not be taxed. What should I check before applying a school or university in advance? Okay, so if you get into a real university and not a university, or not like some program that's not really university, that's not official, then you will be getting a DNI. You first get a precaria, and then you get the temporary, and then you get the permanent, and then you can apply for citizenship. We have public university here. It's completely free. I don't know what city you're planning to come to. If it's Buenos Aires, then you should just go to Universidad de Buenos Aires, which is always in the top 100 schools. And they offer, I don't know how many, but like 100 different careers, from engineering to psychology to philosophy to mathematics to physics to economics, whatever you want. Medicine, they have it. So I can definitely help you get that visa, and I can get you a DNI. Book a call with me later and we'll go over the details. We can help you get a US visa. Yeah, it's not a problem. It is something we do. We can get you an appointment in the embassy, and we can fill out all the paperwork. Of course, it depends what kind of visa you need. It's not the same to do a tourist visa as it is to apply for, an HP1 visa or whatever. But yeah, I mean, let's do one thing at a time. Let's get you the passport. That's going to take, a lot of time. And then once we get you the passport, we can see what kind of visa you need. But we can give you a hand. How easy is it to bring a vehicle from the United States? Okay, this is actually a very specific question. I actually brought my car from Canada. So I shipped it in a container. I brought a Mercedes-Benz SL500. I shipped it in a container, and I used the following law. So I'm an Argentine citizen. I was living abroad for more than 2 years in a row, and I used a resolution, Código Aduanero, which is, the customs code. I can't remember the number. I gotta find the resolution, but it was, was from that code, and I was able to bring a container with all of my personal effects. So I brought a 40-foot container, 40-foot high cubed container from Canada to Argentina with my car and all of my belongings, and you are allowed to use that legislation once every 7 years. You're obviously not an Argentine citizen, so you don't have access to that law, but you can definitely bring your car if you're moving here. I would have to look at if you had to pay taxes or not. There's a book which shows, the values of the cars. We would have to see what that car is valued at, etc. But we can definitely give you a hand. Are there any restrictions on certain applicants when they apply for a different kind of visa because of where they come from, such as Middle Easterns, Africans, etc.? I've heard that Argentine embassies recently reject visas for certain nationalities. If you are currently outside of the country and the passport or the passports you hold do not allow you visa-free entry into Argentina, then you previously have to apply for a visa into Argentina. And visas are granted or rejected subjectively. And there is not much we can do unless I personally know the consul or the ambassador, which I do in some countries, but of course not in every country. Once you are officially in Argentina, then I can help you with a lot more things that you must apply for by being in Argentina. But once you're in Argentina, if you meet all of the requirements, such as, the funds needed, clean criminal record, etc., then they do not have a right to deny you or reject you. It's very white and black law in regards to this. Could take a little longer. They could give you the runaround, but in the end, it's gonna be accepted. If you are from a country that needs a visa to come here, then unfortunately, you're at the mercy of the consul or the ambassador to make sure that they grant you that visa here first. I can help you with the application, but I cannot guarantee that it'll be accepted because it's up to them. Once you're here, it's a different story. I can guarantee it'll be accepted if you meet all the requirements. You mentioned the UA for student visa option. Is there a Spanish language test like the TOEFL in English to study in Argentine universities? I have no idea because most people who study here speak Spanish. For people that, you know, study at UA. I get other people that don't speak Spanish that go to private universities like UP, like ITELA, like WADE, but I don't really get non-Spanish speakers going to UA. So I wouldn't know, but I can definitely look that up for you and let you know. Sebastian, I did not use a customs agent. I did everything myself. I did absolutely everything myself. Looking back, maybe I would have used a customs agent because this is a country where knowing the right people speeds things up. But I can't complain. They were super nice to me. I got everything, you know, out in a very reasonable time. They inspected everything same day. I wasn't even like a lawyer at that point. It was a bit tough, but it was a very rewarding experience to do it myself. Studying at UBA means getting precaria for 4 to 6 years. No, that's not correct. So you should be getting, I mean, I gotta know what country you're from, if you're from Mercosur or not. Mercosur is like super simple. If you're not from Mercosur, then it'll take a couple of months for you to get your temporaria. And then after 2 or 3 years, depending on your country of origin, you can get the permanent residency. And even after 2 years of living here, you know, we can start the application for the second passport. Normally people just don't do it because people who come study here just come to study, but it's really good to get the second passport and it'll save you a lot of headache down the line, especially if you want to live here. If you do a rentista or a pension visa and receive the permanent residence or citizenship, can you stop making the monthly transfers to an Argentine bank while living in Argentina? Once you're a citizen, you can do whatever you like. You can do anything. You're a citizen of the country. You don't have to transfer. You don't have to do anything. You can be dirt poor. You can go bankrupt. You can lose your house. You can do whatever you want, and you're still a citizen of the country, and nobody can deport you. If you are a permanent resident, yeah, also, you don't have to keep making payments. It's just while you're a temporary resident that you have to do this. But most people don't even apply for the permanent residency because basically after just 2 years, you can apply for citizenship, whereas you need 3 years to apply for permanent residency. So permanent residency actually takes a longer time to get being from out of Mercosur than the citizenship, which does not discriminate your country of origin. So it's rare to see somebody on a rentista visa getting permanent residency before citizenship. So anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this. It was a pleasure for me. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help. We'll see you guys next time.